Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 12? 13? How am I forgetting the number already? It's uh, I'm at like 12. This is not going well. I forgot to check. I was going to do that. It's either 12 or 13. Uh you guys will know. I'll know later. I don't know now. Yeah. It's been a week. um an interesting week that's been both good and bad and strange, weird. Yeah. Um I was on my way to having a boyfriend. Yeah. Now I'm not. um anyways, so don't ask my friends for relationship advice. May not seem like a segue that makes sense, but anyways, like Tuesday or something, I ask, I text my sibling group chat and I text my friends. I'm like, how do I ask a guy out? The responses I got were, you just do. You ask a girl out instead. Men suck. Probably should have listened to that one. Um, with a playlist. That one was from my sister. That's mean because I've done that before. No, okay, but like it was with somebody that I knew for like a while. It didn't work. Just enough. It didn't work. Uh, and then I got, you say, do you want to borrow my tuner? Because you're sharp. Or you're looking pretty sharp. Uh, and then I got a massive text message of other assorted pickup lines. So, needless to say, they were zero help. um, I did in fact use none of the pickup lines because while that may have been entertaining, uh, would not have worked. Especially because most of the pickup lines were music related. And this guy is a computer science major. First red flag. Honestly, okay, there's not even okay. I kind of have to like explain this now because what happened isn't even it's very strange. So, I asked this guy to coffee or whatever, and we go. We have a great time. It's really nice. He's very sweet. We're getting along. It's whatever. Next day, we have lunch together. It goes well. He tells me he wants to take me out on another date. It's like Friday, and he tells me he's going to text me on Sunday. Friday night, I also have a concert, um, like a choir concert, that I have a solo in. He says he's going to be there, uh, and I'm not sure if my parents are coming at this point. They said they might, and they might not. Um, but, so I'm like, okay, whatever. And so the concert happens. I'm at the concert. I look up at the balcony and I see the guy I had went on the dates with. I look slightly to the right, both of my parents. They're sitting coincidentally very close together, both directly in my line of sight. And none of them knew it, but I did. It was very entertaining for me. Um, yeah. So after the concert, they thankfully did not run into each other, which was great because he was kind of gone by the time I got out. And then I talked to my parents for a little bit. It was whatever. Um, and then he texted me afterwards like, "You did great. I said thank you. And now this is where things start to get strange. Is um he told me Friday that he was going to be busy Saturday with his friends. And so Saturday, because I have issues, I have abandonment issues and I have issues feeling clingy. I always think I'm being clingy and annoying. So I kind of need people to like constantly tell me they want me somewhere or like verbally reassure me that I'm wanted places and that I'm not being clingy and annoying, or I will assume I am. So, in my best efforts to be not clingy and annoying, the only thing I sent him Saturday is a singular reel of cute puppies. Because, yeah. Plus, a big part of my love language is like sharing things that I like. I said that before. But that includes like reels and TikToks and stuff. So I was like, we'll start off easy, just one. Um, and I told myself that's all I'm gonna send today. That's it. Um, uh, because this is like part of the reason I think that I'm like annoying is because I will send my friends like a lot of like TikToks and reels. Um, that's kind of how you know that I think you're my friend is when I'm sending you copious amounts of videos because I like them and a lot of times they make me happy. So, spreading the love. So I send that and I'm checking Instagram like periodically throughout the day and like checking my messages with my other friends. I happen to notice he has like not even opened the app once that day. Which, like, I get it. Like, if you're hanging out with your friends, I guess you want to be like in the moment, but like, must be some like intense stuff. Um, and then he does not text me whatsoever the entirety of Saturday. It's Sunday. I wake up, I get ready, I go to brunch with my roommate. It's like 11. I've still got nothing, and we're supposed to meet up today. So I ask again, and then I get a text that I'm not going. I don't know exactly how much of the text. Basically, just saying not ready to continue pursuing a relationship with me. But he was having a good time and wants to still be friends. So, and honestly, it was almost a relief when I got this text because it made a lot more sense than just nothing for like 28 hours. So, actually, longer than that, more like 36 hours. So, really, it took away a lot of my anxiety about that because, yeah, kind of sucks, but it's fine. I'm very confused, as well are all of my friends and family members. Of course, my mother, because my little sister told my parents, which I'm like fine. I would have told them eventually, probably, but uh, she told them, so then I had to explain the whole thing. My mom has a vendetta against computer science majors because she works at a college and she thinks all of the computer science majors there are like weird. And I'm like they are not the same kind of computer science majors as the college you teach at, Mom. This is a very different college to the college you teach at because she teaches at like a big okay, it's not big, but she teaches at it's bigger than my school and it's like a public state university that's in a little pretty Republican town. Um so very different types of computer science majors here. But, you know, Maybe not. I mean, I don't know what happened. I do have to see him today, though, in like an hour, unless he doesn't show up to class, which I'm kind of hoping for, but it's probably unlikely. Um, it's gonna be awkward though, because Friday I had switched my seat to sit next to him. So if I switch back, it's gonna be kind of weird. Because my class, there's like 12 people in that class, and we don't really switch seats. So the seat switching, like, plus one person switching a seat messes up the seating arrangement for like everybody. So, well, not everybody, but like the whole half of the room. So it's like, it's gonna be awkward. I'm gonna sit in the seat next to him because he said he wanted to still be friends. So if he makes it weird, it's his fault. But now I don't really know how to act. So yeah, so that happened. Some choir tea. We had a guest composer come work with us because we were performing two of his pieces and we were doing the US debut of one of them because the choir I'm in is like his favorite choir ever. His name is Santiago Veros. He's like, can't remember exactly where he's from. But yeah, he doesn't speak English very well. Spanish is his native language, and this is an important detail for something I'm about to say. I got a solo in one of his pieces, the one that's like the US debut. I got a solo that sits like pretty high in soprano range, right? It's like for like vocalists, you'll know what whoop timbre is. It's like all in that range, except there's like a couple middle notes. And so we run through the piece, and he goes, like, his first comment is like, the first soloist, way too heavy. Me, all my friends in that choir, everybody who's heard me sing is immediately like, heavy? Because I'm a lyric soprano. My voice is quite literally the opposite of heavy. Like, everyone is like, were you listening to the right person? Are you talking about the right solo? But then he went on, he was like, less vibrato, like almost no vibrato, which I should have expected because the style of music this guy writes is very much like, you know, choir boy style of voices. But to expect a soprano to sing in that range with no vibrato, not gonna go well. So I talked to my choir director afterwards, and he just told me to do it how I was doing it, because he said, just make it pretty, floaty, angelic. It needs the spin and warmth that your voice has. That's why I picked you for the solo. And so I was like, okay. um, so yeah. And then, so yeah, that happened. But that was such a mess. That song. We did it, and it sounded good. And it always sounds better than it feels with that choir for some reason. But we performed it with a string quintet and an alto flute, which was really cool, but also really difficult because we'd been practicing like with a piano. And so all of the notes are like voiced very differently. So, like, where you get your notes from is completely different. Like, the clarity of each melody line, like, nothing quite lines up with the music we have because we can see the piano part, which has pieces of all of the instrumental parts, but like that it's being passed throughout all of the instruments, so it's a little harder to follow. And the first time we did the song with the quintet, the part my solo is in 3/2, and the strings are just holding this chord that has a D sharp and an F sharp. And the choir is supposed to come in on an E, like the end of 2 on an E, and then the rest of the other half of the choir comes in on 1 on an E, and then I come in on 2 of the next measure on an E, the octave up. The first time we did it, I could like barely hear the strings. The first half of the choir did not come in on time because they could not hear their pitch. And then when people started coming in, it was at random times, and like 4 different pitches, all like a half step apart. So I was here, and it was like mumble singing. So it was like, so I was having 0 pitches. So I came in on a pitch, and it felt entirely wrong. I think, and according to the people like next to me, it was like the right note, but it did not sound and or feel right. So I just stopped and like did not sing the first phrase, and then came in on the second line because by that time the choir had figured out what the E was. And then of course I looked like an idiot. Well, really, we were all being idiots because nobody could find the freaking E. But then we did it again, and it was still difficult to find it because the choir was not coming in right, and it looked like I couldn't count because the choir was not coming in right, because like, plus the conducting style for 3/2, he was doing like down, down, like, I don't even know where the beat for the second one was. It was, I don't know. And then like and then in or like in up or whatever. To conduct it in like 3/2. So it was like a little tricky to follow the conducting, and then so it looked like I couldn't count, even though my choir director knows I can count because I literally did it fine with the piano. It was just strange. But it was a very interesting experience. And then the composer, this guy is quite the character. He's funny. He's nice. But he conducted one of his pieces that we also did, called Almas de Barro. I excuse my horribly rolled R. It is supposed to be a rolled R. But we did that, and he conducted it, and it was funny because at one point, because my choir director was trying to convince him to conduct his like big like debut piece, and he goes, I am not conductor. I am not a conductor. I am composer. And it was so funny. And you can tell that this man is not a conductor, because thankfully my choir is all like pretty good musicians. So we like knew what he meant when he conducted things most of the time. So it ended up relatively okay. We knew what he was getting at, so we were able to follow. It was really funny though. Yeah. What else? I've told like the biggest thing that happened this week. Oh, Enola Holmes 2 It's a very good movie. Like, a very good movie. When the first one came out, I was so hesitant and like reluctant to watch it because I was like, oh my god, why don't they come up with new ideas? Why is it like another Sherlock Holmes thing? Blah, 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 blah. Watched it, loved it. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times now, the first one. And then the second one came out and I was super excited for it, loved it, was fantastic. I loved all of the twists. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's amazing. And I love the parts of it that are historically accurate. That's like my favorite thing. Like, if you haven't seen the first one, I guess I could say this because there's like it's not like a plot point, but they have like a jujitsu like teaching place above like this tea shop for women to go and learn jujitsu. That's actually factually accurate. That was a thing in the British suffragette movement, was that they would teach everybody jujitsu so they could take down the police officers. And it was super funny because the girl in charge was like 5'1", 5'2", something, and all of the police officers at the time were like required to be over 5'10". So you had these like tiny little women and these massive fucking police officers, and the women would just kick their asses, which is fantastic. um so yeah, uh I love the factually accurate parts. That is like one of my favorite things. Something that threw me off was apparently the guy who plays Mycroft Holmes is the same guy that plays Finnick in the Hunger Games. And that is not okay. That like broke my brain. I had to like, one of my friends found that out because we watched, like I had seen 1 and 2 before, but then like Saturday night, my friends and I watched them both because some of us or some of them hadn't seen either of them. So we did like a marathon of it. But one of my friends looked up the cast, found out that Finnick was Mycroft Holmes, and we were all like, no, no way. Because as Mycroft Holmes, you're like, that man is, no. Like, that man is a bad guy. We don't like that guy. He's ugly and gross. And then Finnick is like hot as fuck. That's like a universal truth, right? Oh my god. Like, that was just crazy. Also, that movie is going, those movies are going to be like the next Pirates of the Caribbean. They're going to be so many people's like bisexual realizations and like obsessions, like before they know they're bi. Um, like for me, Pirates of the Caribbean was definitely one of those. Because I was obsessed with them. I was obsessed with pirates. And you know, when you're little, you think, oh, it's Orlando Bloom, like Will Turner is so hot. And then you look back and you're like, it was everybody in that movie. Um, like this is that, like Millie Bobby Brown, gorgeous human being, and the guy that plays Tewksbury, like that couple, insane. And then in the second one, there's like more hot people. And not only Henry Cavill, but like more than that. I can't really say who the characters are because it kind of, well, I guess. The Sarah Chapman is gorgeous, and they're all being like, you know, radical, like feminist, um, rebels. So it makes it even better because you're like, yeah, which is great. So watch those movies. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know who lets me and my roommate exist in the same space, but I swear to God, our only discernible personality trait between the two of us is that I'm gay and she's straight. And that basically leads to like all of the differences in our personality. Otherwise, we're like the same person. We were at a Target the other day and we both bought jeans. We bought the same pair of jeans because they're very cute. They have little, they're kind of like mom jeans, but not quite. I'm wearing them right now. That's why I'm looking at my legs. And they have little like embroidered flowers on them and they're so cute. We are also like the same size, which is weird. Um and we've both lost weight since coming here because before I was like, you know, kind of between a 6 and an 8, like pretty solidly in a 6 for like a pant size kind of. And these pants are 4s and they fit me like perfectly. Now, the Target sizing was really fucking weird because the 6s were like massive and I have a 6 in another pair that fits me pretty well. So, we both lost like a little weight, but not like really a concerning amount. Just the Target sizing was weird and we've lost a little weight. Um, but we bought the same pair of jeans and then today I woke up, got dressed, and she was like still sleeping. I come back after like washing my face and everything. We are both wearing the jeans. And we do this all the time. Like, we'll accidentally match. And it's like, who let us do this? Who put us together in the same space? We also came to the realization that our poor neighbors, because both of us are loud human beings, and so when we're talking to each other to like us is a normal conversation volume, we're being loud, but we don't know it because that's just normal conversation volume to both of us. We're so loud. I feel so bad for our neighbors. Like, I am so sorry to those poor people. Um, because we're loud. Like, we're just like so strangely similar, but we're just different enough that it works, you know? Which is nice. Um, so yeah. But we do that all the time where we're like, one time, because we don't look at each other when we get dressed, so it's not like a conscious decision. So one day we turned around, I was wearing a navy kind of like a navy kind of like almost plaid, but just like the square patterned um, sweater vest with a burgundy skirt. Turned around, she was wearing a maroon shirt and like black plaid pants that were like the same pattern as my sweater vest. Um, then like that same week we went to work out. She was wearing a turquoise bra with black shorts and I was wearing a black bra with turquoise shorts. This happens all the time. Literally someone thought we were dating because we go everywhere together and they didn't really know we were roommates. But no, she's straight and has a boyfriend. I'm queer and single. We're not dating. um, yeah. Anyways, I guess I can wrap this up. Uh, my favorite song this week is probably Después de la Playa by Bad Bunny or Titi Me Preguntó by Bad Bunny. Both very good songs. Thank you all for listening if you made it this far. So, yeah. Bye.